Do you love honey but hate bee stings? Growing up in a Russian village, I learned to appreciate everything bees had to offer. Keep watching to find out how beekeeping can be a tool for survival prepping, and learn to talk about it in Russian. So what do beekeepers and preppers have in common? Ask any avid beekeeper, like my Siberian parents, and they'll tell you that bees are all you really need to survive. The verb to survive is выживать in Russian. Say it with me. Выживать. In this video, we'll talk about the many uses of honey, some of which may surprise you. But did you know that bees themselves can help cure and prevent illness? Comment below and stay to the end to learn my side of the story. Bee is пчела, and beekeeper is пчеловод in Russian. Say it with me. Пчела и пчеловод. Пчеловод literally means the leader of bees, which is pretty much how I remember my parents after the collapse of the Soviet Union. It was a difficult time for many. So to make ends meet, they went all in on the apiary at our country house. Country house is дом в деревне. Say it with me. Дом в деревне. The noun деревня is used in prepositional case with «е» at the end. Beekeeping was a year-round endeavor, with summer seeing most of the action. That's when bees try to make a separate family called рой. The swarm then flies away from the original beehive, or улей. Say it with me. Рой and улей. Believe it or not, beekeepers often use ladle, половник, to scoop up and return the runaways. Of course, bees don't take kindly to being treated like борщ and come after their handlers. Their favorite target is the head, or голова. So the smart thing is to always cover it. Say it with me. Голова. Keep in mind that regular head coverings like шапка, winter hat, панама, summer hat, and кепка, baseball cap, do not cover your face and wouldn't protect you from bee stings. You'll need a special beekeeper's hat with a net veil, маска пчеловода. Say it with me. Маска пчеловода, where маска is mask and пчеловод is used in genitive case with «а» at the end. A bee smoker is дымарь, a metal container that looks like a teapot and is used as a bee deterrent. Say it with me. Дымарь. But despite all the protective gear and gadgets, it's only a matter of time before you get stung. Spoiler alert, that is one of the health benefits of bees, according to my parents. But more on that later in the video. First and foremost, bees make honey, or мед. It's a great substitute for sugar in tea and a delicious complement to bread. If you wanted to get fancy and had all the ingredients, you could even bake a honey cake called медовик. Say it with me. Мед и медовик. Notice how letter «ё» in мед changes to «е» in медовик, but the root stays the same. And whatever we couldn't eat ourselves, my parents sold at the farmer's market. Raw honey was quite a commodity, but then there was more. More what? Just more, which is exactly how you pronounce the word for a collection of dead bees. Say it with me. More. But who would want to buy dead bees? Apparently, if they are soaked in alcohol for a few months, the resulting infusion, or настойка, gives you a lot of energy. You know, makes you strong like bear. Bear is медведь in Russian. Say it with me. Настойка и медведь. Notice the root мед in медведь? Now you know. And speaking of alcohol, another popular drink among beekeepers is mead, or медовуха. Say it with me. Медовуха. It's made of fermented honey and pollen, and some Russians believe it also has medicinal qualities. Filling your root cellar with bottles of mead will help you pass the time during long Siberian winters. A root cellar is погреб in Russian. Say it with me. Погреб. Now back to the bees and their stings. I was stung at least 100 times during summers I spent helping my parents. And it wasn't just by accident. My parents believed that bee venom or pчелиный яд could cure almost anything, and that it boosts your immunity, immunitet, along the way. Say it with me, пчелиный яд, which literally means bee poison, and immunitet. Who needs doctors and their vaccines when you can get all your shots and boosters directly from a bee's behind? I still remember my dad catching a bee with his bare hands and carefully grabbing it by its sides. The idea was to prevent the insect from stinging his finger or palец. Sometimes it still happened, so he had to go get another one, because bees only sting once and then die shortly after that. Once is однажды in Russian. The bee was then placed on the aching body part to deliver its medicine, such as lower back or поясница. After some brief discomfort, the patient got much needed relief and the brave vaccinator got moved to the more pile. Disclaimer: consult your doctor before attempting. Bee stings can cause a serious allergic reaction. So how did the bees that we did not use to self-medicate survive harsh Siberian winters? I remember the word we learned earlier today, погреб. The same root cellar that keeps медовуха cool in the summer keeps the bees warm in the winter. We covered beehives with blankets and fed bees sugar syrup in place of the honey they would normally be eating. Sugar is сахар in Russian. And to learn how human Siberians use it for emergency preparedness, click on the video above. Thank you for prepping with me today. Please take care, and I'll see you very soon, Achievers.